Is starting and we're live. We are live. Okay. Sorry.
Hello there.
Hi. Hello. Hello world.
Hello world. We're also filming another camera, so we're saying hi there too. We're going to look back and forth.
Yes. Om Swastiastu
Om
from Bali,
Swastiastu.
Indonesia. Thank you so much for joining us on this. We're talking to you from the future. It's January 5th here. So actually, it's January 5th there. It just started, but ours is ending. And yeah, we're so excited. We're really, really so excited. I'm going to pull up the video on my laptop here just to make sure we can see if you all are chiming in and see if you have any questions as we go, or if you are with us, maybe you can chime in where you are currently in the world.
And the big reason why we're putting this video together is because, as most of you know, if you're on our mailing list and seen us on social, we have recently launched or opened the pre-registration to the Neurosomatic Flow teacher training,
Yes.
which is super exciting because it's our first training.
First official, online teacher training.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, we had our first alignment session today, Leah, if you're watching, and it was really just, she was like, wow, it's amazing how quickly you were able to put this together. Well, the truth is it's been 5 years in the making, at least 5 years, maybe more like 6 or 7. So it was just about the timing, and the time is now.
Definitely, the time is now. And it was a good conversation, and we have many more of these alignment sessions coming up, which has motivated us to put this together because we have a couple promotions just as reminders of people to pre-register since it's free. And so we thought, because we went through a couple of things with the candidate that we spoke with today, maybe taking a step back of why have we created this training program. Many of you are familiar with who we are at NaiAsa Institute, and the big question is, why do we do this? What is the big problem that we're trying to solve? And so we thought we would kind of walk that path with you on a video to explain what that's about.
Yeah.
So that's the big question. What is the big problem that we're trying to solve?
Yeah.
And it's a big one.
Yeah, and I also had this realization in many conversations. There are many of you who follow us, but have shared with us. We don't. It really feels like what you do is amazing, but I don't really understand it. I don't quite get it. I don't know how to explain it to other people, and that's totally understandable, because what we're doing is so out of the box and it's so new. What we're doing is not like what any other organization that we know of is doing, and we're weaving different modalities and just really just moving forward in a progressive way. And so sometimes we don't even have the words to accurately and definitively define what we're doing. However, this video, if you are one of those people who has wondered, this will help. This will really help. And we're excited to share more, express more, to reach as many people as possible at this point in time about the medicine of flow.
Yep. So let's start with the macro, okay?
Yeah.
What's the big problem we're trying to solve? Now, as we talk about this, we're not trying to boil the ocean, as I like to say. But this is one of the main reasons why we created this program and why we're trying to get as many people to take this program as possible. There is a huge, huge mental health issue. Not only in the United States, but around the world. We're learning, living in Bali now, of, wow, there's a lot of mental health issues.
I wouldn't even call it an issue. This is a global crisis.
It's a crisis.
Mental and emotional, health crisis now.
And we're willing to bet that you know someone close to you, or you yourself are dealing with mental health issues in one way, shape, or form. Now, that is the big problem that we're trying to solve, right?
That so many of us,
yes.
right?
So
not just us.
What are the solutions that are available to most of the population? You can probably think of one before we even say it. The pharmaceutical industry makes billions upon billions trying to relieve the symptoms of this issue. We probably know many people. We know for sure her mom, for one example, many years on pharmaceuticals to help with her mental health issues. Yeah. That itself has become perhaps even a bigger problem than the mental health issue it's supposed to solve. Okay?
Perhaps.
So the question is, has that worked? For some people, maybe a small percentage, it has. But I think we'd agree that it's probably caused a lot more problems.
Yeah. And not to say it is needed. We are not, if you're on meds, we're not saying get off your meds.
No,
it's meds are needed. There's a time and there's a place. But I think what we are being invited and challenged and needed, what the world needs us to do is up level to a big picture thinking than we've ever had before.
Yeah.
And so, and right now what's happening, what we see and what I've seen with my mother and others are these very these treatment plans for mental and emotional health are largely based on, okay, let's get the drugs to numb and to address the symptoms, and then the root cause doesn't get addressed, especially and in a sense it's almost like it's dumbing down the emotions that are needed to let the person know that they need to make the changes in their life and in their body. But when the symptoms go away, where's the motivation? So anyway, that's a different conversation. However, so the other thing
we're talking to you guys too.
Yes,
okay.
We are. Hello there.
We'll make sure we look back and forth at you guys.
Hello there. And we're talking to our Rumakita family
here in Bali where we live.
Yes. Such a beautiful family we live with here.
Yuli, we're saying hi to you, Yuli.
If you're watching, drop us a little message, a little comment. So here's another thing to think about, to really sit with, a fact. We now have advanced pharmaceutical industry, just neuroscience research, and so much, like billions and billions and billions of tax dollars go into advancing the molecular and on up technology. We have all these technologies. We have data through the yin yang. We have so much data that we will never get through. You could never get through all the data that we have right now that describes all the different nuances of the brain and the pathways and the synapses and all of that. So as we continue to add to this mountain of knowledge and technology, what's really strange is you would think that the proportion of human beings that are suffering with mental and emotional imbalance, you would think that proportion would be going down with the amount of knowledge and technology and drugs going up. So what this tells me is that that's not working. That's not working. We have to break out of this need to know more exactly how different processes work and get back into the wisdom of our bodies. That's where I want to go with this.
Yeah.
Get back into the wisdom of our own bodies. Reconnect with the healer that is within. So that's a big part of this Neurosomatic Flow program.
And I would say that many people who realize that's very important to get the body involved have done more productive healing paths. For instance, many people do yoga and meditation. Vast amounts of people do yoga, not only do yoga, but they take yoga certification. Why? It's because they felt the benefits of yoga and now want to be able to teach that to others. Okay? Jinju has her teaching certification. So it's pretty clear that that helps as well. Now, even with yoga, obviously, millions of people do yoga. But there actually seems to be a bit of plateau, and this is what yoga instructors teach us as well, is that within the yoga mat, these asanas, or these forms that they practice, are very linear in nature. It's not very flowing. You're in this mat, you do these asanas, you hold them, you do these poses. I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but yoga originally was dance.
Yeah.
And it's now
Shiva
become...
Ray.
Yep.
Got that one.
Shout out to Shiva Ray.
Yes.
And, you can kind of look at the history of yoga. Many of the poses, I don't want to say all of them, but I would say the vast majority of the poses were created and optimized for men.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of women actually right now in the West, especially and all around the world, there's more women yoga signing up for these yoga teacher trainings than men, interestingly.
Yeah.
But they're teaching in a large part based on teachings that were created by men for men.
And many of the female instructors are moving their bodies as a man would when they teach yoga.
So this is kind of a problem. This is also another problem.
There's history behind that. Yeah, it's starting to shift. There's history behind that. Of course, we are giving our opinion, but we are noticing that we're not the only ones feeling that way. Okay? And so...
And yoga teachers and yoga practitioners, who hears this right now? I think there's so many of us who are really ready to, have been ready for many years now to explore, get off the mat.
Like, let me ask you, for yoga instructors out there, how often do you get off the mat and just dance? Probably not, because it's very linear. Bikram or hot yoga does 13 standing, 13 sitting. You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very linear.
And there's medicine in all of that
Definitely
as well.
There's medicine. We're just saying that we're offering a different way, a balance.
Yeah.
And so how do we know that this is working? Okay. We have a history of like right now, next year, actually this year in March, we have our 6th retreat, our 2nd one in Bali. And we've seen the result of many people who have taken the medicine or the work, the flow that we've helped them with, and utilize that in their own lives, because we have so many people who repeat they come to retreats with us year after year. That's one way, but also it's in these applications that we've been getting for the Neurosomatic Flow teacher training program. We asked one question in the application process in order to have a alignment session with us. Why do you want to take this training?
What is your why?
And what we've called in, because we've said that this training is for health professionals, for yoga professionals, for those who have gone down a path of a healing modality that feel that something is missing. And it's not only for those in the professional capacity. We have people who want to deepen their practice, just like you probably took yoga teacher training and you probably have no intention of teaching or having your own studio, but you wanted to deepen your practice. And so we have many people who are interested in this training for that reason. And so what we would like to do is actually share some of the answers that we've gotten from some of our applicants from different lines of work. And to our joy, it's exactly whom we've been calling in.
Yes, this is so exciting, you all. I think what is the most exciting about this is feeling that the momentum of the collective momentum is now in my mind. But the momentum of sparks all around the world starting to catch fire, this medicine of flow, and realizing, we are not the only ones talking about this. We are not the only ones excited about this. And there's also the future. I'm sure if you follow me at all, you've seen me write, the future is flow. And
when you think about it, back in the 60s, 70s, came to the West. We'll just talk about the West because that's where we're coming from.
The waves.
The wave from the East that came
waves.
To the West was meditation, right? That was already 60s, 70s, etc. And then sort of in the late 80s, mid 80s, up until now has been yoga. There's just an explosion of yoga.
We are probably in the peak of it. Maybe it hasn't even peaked out yet. But the next wave
from our belief is the age of flow.
Is the age of flow.
Is the age of flow.
And when we say flow, it's the full integration.
Yeah, full integration. That's the key, integration.
The meditation, the yoga, the dance, the soul, the mind, the body, the heart, and it's flow in the sense of and when we talk about flow arts movement, I think there's something about specifically these universal patterns of flow that exist within us, within our subatomic particles, within the cosmos. Everything spins in these patterns, spirals and circles and waves. And so what is distinct about flow arts kind of movement and a lot of dance movements is aligning and expressing basically those universal flow patterns from the inside out. And so you are moving like this, but you're also taking contralateral sides of your body and your brain to learn how to move in new ways, in ways that, and so you're challenging your brain to grow and integrate in a way that it maybe hasn't since you learned how to crawl, or since you last learned how to do something really major in terms of an evolution in your human body development.
And here's the thing. There are hundreds of thousands of people in the world who actually believe and practice what we're doing. There are flow artists all over the world who understand the benefits of flow patterns, of flow.
Yeah.
Now the challenge with this particular group of people is that this sort of practice has been associated with festivals, with Burning Man, with this flow artist, and it's been primarily sitting in this demographic. So when this tries to get introduced to academia or to the professional world, it's sort of seen as kind of this hippy-dippy thing. And it's
not taken seriously.
Exactly. And
kind of like dance.
Right. And so why we feel we've come up with really one of the first training programs out there from our research. We're bringing flow into the world, but it's backed by science. As you all know, Jinju is a doctor of neuroscience, getting her PhD from Penn State. And she's she got it. Sorry, she's published. She has. Oh, look at that little pride getting.
Well, no, it's just like really long time ago.
Yeah, it's a really long time ago. But she's a published PhD. So.
But I'm more excited about it now than I ever was before.
So there is no program out there today which is utilizing the integration of flow dance movement, backed by science and play, embodied play, taught by a doctor of neuroscience with that sacred feminine brought in there.
Yeah, so I'm not the one conducting these studies, although everything's an experiment.
Exactly.
However, I have been so passionate the last 7 years of just sourcing study after study after study after study that could help me personally. I did it for me. I didn't do it for a training program. I did it for myself because I could feel the effects of the flow, the medicine of flow, helping to heal my brain and to heal my heart and to heal my soul. And so I, as a neuroscientist, really needed to know what is happening. How can I explain what it could explain the shift in my brain and in my body?
You can see some of those studies on our website, NaiAsa Institute.earth. In this training, there will be introduced even more research to support what we're talking about. But anyway, so enough about us. So we want you to hear about what others who are aligned with this vision that we have of why they're so interested in this training.
You all, it's so exciting. We didn't know how people would respond to this program, and the applications are just flooding in. Here we go. So let's see here. How about, why don't we start with, let's see, this.
So the different occupations here are, we have some entrepreneurs, we have some yoga instructors, and to our happy surprise, or actually our happy expectation, we have a few health professionals,
Physicians.
a couple of physicians, a few nurses who,
Occupational
occupational therapists who want to bring this into professional practice, as as Jinju will share right now.
So, so when asking them, why do you want to do this training? So some of just highlighted some of these really inspiring ones. So this person said, to further enhance my skills as a practitioner and to learn the brain science of the brain and the flow of the brain and how it can be utilized in helping to heal trauma.
And someone else had said, let me read it. I'm in the process of trying to create a healing space for survivors of domestic violence and trauma using hoops and the flow arts. I have a background in psychology and electrical engineering and connect very deeply with the ideas that Dr. Jinju shares about the somatic experience and connection to the flow arts.
Mm-hmm. And then this one, Wanderlust Squaw, oh, that's where we met. Teachings of the art of flow, the feminine energy, in addition to the entire experience, which was life-changing. She experienced the poi for the first time. At the end of 2019, I left my job.
Oops.
Sorry. Oops.
Oops.
Here we go. I left my job knowing that I need time to rest, but also including movement arts, dance, yoga, longboarding. When I think back to those sessions this summer and my time playing with poi since, I've truly enjoyed and recognized how flow brings so many things and interests together. Overall, I saw so much truth, wisdom, and beauty within this practice and teachings, and am interested in learning more. There really is this brilliant wisdom that comes through just in the practice.
So a couple of more. Okay, here's one. So what kind of question is why take this training? To assist this work, to assist me in developing...
To access this work.
I'm sorry, to access this work, to assist me in developing my feminine expression and use it to help my patients would work beautifully with my osteopathic work. So, want to read one more? And then...
Yeah, just one more here. Maybe, I think this one. I feel this might be, don't see the profession here, but I feel strongly that this type of movement and flow has a place in treating anxiety and the rigors of our fast-paced society. This would be a wonderful adjunct to my vinyasa teacher training, and would love to incorporate this type of movement in my own practice as well as share it with others. So it's happening.
It's definitely happening. We're honored that, and this is just a handful of people who are interested in taking the training. So we are very grateful.
And so if you're listening to this and you are, you're in a profession that is in helping people, especially in helping people maybe not just to heal physically, but multidimensionally, physically, emotionally, mentally. If you're in any kind of profession, or if you're in a profession that focuses only on the physical body, but you realize now that it's time to integrate the other aspects, and you're not already including and incorporating some sort of flow or somatic practice that can help your clients, to help your patients, to help your students to unlock in their brains and in their bodies in a way that few other practices can. This is really something that we urge you to look into for the benefit of who you're serving, to let this medicine spread like fire. And because also this is the medicine that's you know, yes, it's going to help with anxiety. Yes, it's going to help with depression. But then on top of that, there is something else that happens, and of course it has to kind of start in the brain and in the body, but suddenly perception shifts, and there's access to a flow state. Really, there's access to a state of infinite possibility. And so in being able to not only see one's own infinite possibilities in one's own life, but we need to really support each other and as many humans and children as possible to be able to expand and really see all the possibilities for our planet, for our environment, for our politics, on and on and on.
Yep.
So if you're a teacher, we'd love for you to take this program and bring this into your schools, to your kids.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys can imagine the many applications for this, and even just for yourself. Again, if you're just an individual who wanted to deepen their practice, I'm sure you went to yoga teacher training and they're not teaching a soul, and you just wanted to deepen your own practice. Maybe for you, you feel there's something missing. You know, you've done yoga for a reason, and yoga works, but maybe you feel there might be some limitations. You want to add something to it. Perhaps something like this would be really beneficial, because it would. On and on and on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
I think the last thing we want to say is, so right now, as some of you know, if you've been to our website, we are urging people to pre-register. You have until January 5th, Sunday, to pre-register for free.
Yeah, there's no cost.
All the information about the program, including what the tuition is on the website. Mm-hmm. You'll see it under events, and you'll be able to see if it's something that could fit. So what we're saying is that just because you apply doesn't mean you'll be accepted into the program, because it has to be a fit. So by filling out an application and pre-registering early, there's a couple of benefits. One, you'll get to take advantage of certain discounts, especially if you're an alumni of ours. That means you have gone to a previous retreat, and even if you haven't, there are some very advantageous installment plans that we're offering. Mm-hmm. But you must pre-register by January 5th.
And if you
Sunday.
Pre-register and we have an alignment session, you may discover that this is not
Correct.
Something that you want, and
Yes.
so you're not committed
At all.
by pre-registering.
At all.
But yeah, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I'm just feeling really grateful. I'm actually feeling a lot of different emotions. It's been a pretty
crazy
week,
right
and I'm sure share on some of that some other time. But
Yep.
I am really, really grateful for the flow of this, the medicine of flow, and to be in service in a way that I've always dreamed. You know, that's what we all want to do. We all want to be able to help as many people as we can, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
and I can't do this alone. Like this is and this.
We
is
need
not,
help.
Yeah, it takes a village and a collective, and I'm grateful for everyone who is showing up, and I'm so grateful for this amazing man in my life. None of this would be possible without him, and yeah, to be able to make it especially possible to access it online. And from anywhere in the world, and yeah, so thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, for both of you who are watching this after the fact, and then who are watching it live. We want to thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you in the training. If not, we'll see you again. Again, we have a retreat coming up March 20th. We hope you can make it at some point. Hopefully to this training as well, and I think that's it for us.
Yeah, I think that's it for us for this. So much gratitude. Aloha.
Thank you for joining us.
Santi Om.
Yes.
Mwah.
Bye bye.